finished reading a book called Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. And I'll just show you the cover right now. This is the cover of it. And what it's basically about is in Catching Fire, which was the second book, this is the book, Mockingjay is the third book. Catching Fire was about how a revolution was starting amongst these districts. In Mockingjay, the revolution has already begun, and now it's turned into a war against all the districts and the capital. And so Katniss, the protagonist, she has become the Mockingjay, so she is the symbol of the revolution. And President Snow, who's their enemy, and he's threatened Katniss and her family about how they're on other sides now, so they're enemies, and so he's trying to kill her while she's trying to kill him. But President Snow has also got PETA this time, and she's worried that if she kills President Snow, then something's gonna happen to PETA. And this book, it really covers the emotions and the physical aspects of what war can do to a person. And so I really like this book because it covered a lot of Katniss's emotions. Because in the first two books, you see Katniss as this really strong person, and she can do anything. But in this book, you see the weaker side of her, and how even though she has survived 2 Hunger Games with the odds all against her, she has survived, and she's a born survivor. But even the best survivors have their moments of weakness. And so I'm gonna read this one part on how, in this part, she's gone to a district that has just recently been bombed, and she's being followed by these film crew. The film crew's making not really propaganda, but that's what they call it. And it's about Katniss trying to influence the other districts and unifying them. And so, in this part, Katniss just witnessed the district she's in being bombed. Alright, and Cressida is a person talking to her. Katniss, Cressida says, President Snow just had them air the bombing live. Then he made an appearance to say this was the way of sending a message, his way of sending a message to the rebels. What about you? Would you like to tell the rebels anything? Yes, I whisper. The red blinking light on one of the cameras catches my eye. I know I'm being recorded. Yes, I say more forcefully. Everyone is drawing away from me, Gale, Cressida, but I stay focused on the light. I want to tell the rebels that I am alive. I am right here in District 8, where the capital just bombed a hospital full of unarmed men, women, and children. There will be no survivors. The shock I've been feeling begins to give way to fury. I want to tell the people that if you think for 1 second the capital will treat us fairly if there's a ceasefire, you're deluding yourself. Because if you know who they are and what they will do, my hands go out automatically as if to indicate the whole horror around me. This is what they will do, and we must fight back. I'm moving toward the camera now, carried forward by my rage. President Snow says he's sending us a message? Well, I have one for him. You can torture us and bomb us and burn our districts to the ground, but do you see that? One of the cameras follows as I point to the planes burning on the roof of the warehouse across from us. The capital seal on a wing glows clearly through the flames. Fire is catching, I'm shouting now, determined that he will not miss a word. And if we burn, you burn with us. My last words hang in the air. I feel suspended in time, held aloft from a cloud of heat that generates not from my surroundings, but from my own being. Cut, Cressida's voice snaps me back up to reality, extinguishes me. She gives me a nod of approval. That's a wrap. And so, in this part, you can see how much emotion she was feeling when she witnessed the bombing of the hospital. And so, once I read this part, I wanted to see what's going to happen after, because she's just one person going against a whole city, a whole capital with armed men and troops and everything. And for me, it seems, at this point in the book, I thought it's impossible for her to do this. But after I read how infuriated and how eager she was to demolish the Capitol, I wanted to read more, and I want to see how she accomplishes this. And so I really recommend this book, and I hope you guys read it. Maybe we'll.
Is it in the future?
Yes, it's in the future.
Oh, but does it have like bullets?
Yeah, they have like they have guns and bullets. So,
In order to understand the story, you have to like read the two that were before it.
I mean, if I read this book without reading the two before it, then yeah, I would want to read the two before, but you would be able to understand it. But I recommend reading the two before. Just it makes it better to read the two before.
Did you like this movie more than Catching Fire?
I liked Catching Fire more because in this one there's there is action, but in Catching Fire there's more of a whole. I'm not really sure how to describe it. It's like there's more. I like to see Katniss more in action in this one. In this one, she starts becoming too weak, and for me, even though I like to see the other sides of her, it makes me wonder what's going to happen to the once radiant person in the early two books before. You know?
Sorry, but who's the author again?
Suzanne Collins. Do you want me to write it on the board?
It's fine, I
Anna.
how old is she?
She's 16. Any other questions, Yusuf?
Well, I read all three books also. Like, well, the most part I liked was like how she. Well, that was one of my favorite parts in the book also, because it like showed me a lot of how she's not only the girl that's like fighting and for her to live and stuff. Because I thought, oh, wow, she can like actually like beat me up.
Yeah.
In a fight, but now I thought after she's really nice and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They see a whole other side to Katniss and how she isn't just this piece of muscle, this brute. She actually has like the soft side that everyone has.
She's what?
Yeah, she's like survives so many things.
No, not like that.
Any other questions?
Awesome. Thank you very much, Lisa.